Nimisha Priya, the Kerala nurse convicted in Yemen for the 2017 death of a Yemeni businessman, was scheduled for execution on July 16, 2025. However, recent reports confirm her execution has been deferred, offering a temporary reprieve amid ongoing diplomatic and legal efforts to save her life. Born on January 1, 1989 in Kolingode, Palakkad, Kerala, Priya moved to Yemen in 2008 to work as a nurse in a government hospital in Sana'a. She aimed to support her financially strained family as her mother, Prema Kumari, worked as a domestic helper. In 2011, she married Tommy Thomas and they had a daughter. Due to financial difficulties and Yemen's civil unrest, her husband and daughter returned to India in 2014, while Priya stayed to earn. In 2014, Priya partnered with Mehdi, a Yemeni businessman, to open a clinic, as Yemeni law required a local partner. Their relationship deteriorated, with Priya alleging Mehdi stole funds, confiscated her passport, forged documents claiming they were married, and subjected her to physical and psychological abuse. In July 2017, Priya injected Mehdi with sedatives, ketamine, to retrieve her passport, but he died from an overdose. She was arrested after attempting to dispose of his body, which was found dismembered in a water tank. Priya claimed the killing was unintentional, aimed only at sedating him. Priya was convicted of murder in June 2018 by a Sana'a trial court and sentenced to death in 2020. Her trial was conducted in Arabic without an interpreter or adequate legal representation, raising concerns about fairness. In November 2023, Yemen's Supreme Judicial Council upheld the death sentence, and in December 2024, Yemeni President Rashid Al Alami reportedly approved it, though the Yemen embassy clarified the case is handled by the Houthi-controlled authorities in Sana'a, not the recognized government. Sana'a, where Priya is imprisoned, is controlled by Iran-backed Houthi rebels, complicating diplomatic efforts as India lacks formal ties with them. This had limited India's ability to intervene directly. Under Yemen's Sharia-based legal system, the victim's family can pardon the convict in exchange for diya, that is blood money, potentially halting the execution. The Save Nimisha Priya International Action Council, formed in 2020 by relatives, activists and NRI social workers, has raised $40,000 through crowdfunding to negotiate with Mehdi's family. However, talks stalled in September 2024 due to disputes over a $40,000 pre-negotiation fee demanded by the Indian embassy-appointed Yemeni lawyer Abdullah Mir. The victim's family has reportedly rejected offers, citing honor, though negotiations continue. India's Ministry of External Affairs had been in contact with Yemeni authorities and Priya's family, providing consular support and exploring options to delay the execution. However, on July 14, 2025, the Indian government had told the Supreme Court it has limited influence due to the lack of diplomatic ties with the Houthis and Yemen's complex situation. The Attorney General noted efforts through private channels, including talks with the Yemeni public prosecutor and an influential sheikh, but no breakthrough had been achieved. On July 14, 2025, the Supreme Court of India heard a plea from the Save Nimisha Priya Action Council urging diplomatic intervention. The court acknowledged the urgency but was informed by the government that blood money remains the only viable option. However, now the execution has been deferred. Priya's mother, Prema Kumari, sold her property to fund legal efforts and travelled to Yemen in April 2024 to negotiate with Mehdi's family. She has met Priya 4 times in prison and remains in Sana with Samuel Jerome Bhaskaran, a council member coordinating efforts. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan wrote to Prime Minister Narendra Modi in July 2025 urging immediate action. Human rights groups and activists, including Samuel Jerome and lawyer Subhash Chandran, continued to push for a pardon. Priya's execution was scheduled for July 16, 2025, which has now been deferred. However, the lack of diplomatic ties with the Houthis stalled blood money negotiations, and the victims' families' reluctance posed significant hurdles. Further developments are awaited as her family and other legal representatives continue the negotiations in Yemen.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update. Download the One India app now.